You're not going to believe what I just discovered about this ugly Denver Broncos win against the Las Vegas Raiders last Thursday. While everyone's criticizing the offense, complaining about Bo Nix, and saying this team doesn't have what it takes to go deep in the playoffs, I'm here to tell you that these people are completely blind. Today I'm going to show you the 3 bombshells that nobody's talking about regarding this Denver Broncos victory, and why this is the best team we've had in a decade. And I guarantee one of these bombshells will completely change how you see this 2025 season. Stick with me until the end, because the third bombshell involves something that could clinch the AFC West title next week. Are you ready? Let's go! Let me start off the right way, no BS, the way we talk here on the streets of Denver. Thursday night, Empower Field at Mile High, retro orange uniforms shining under the lights. And what did we see? A 10-7 game that left half of Broncos Country with their stomach in knots and the other half screaming at the couch. 11 penalties, just 10 first downs, 7 drives that ended in 3 and outs. Bo Nix with 150 yards, 2 interceptions, and a performance that had the Mile High crowd booing their own quarterback. But you know what's crazier? The Denver Broncos are 8-2. 8-2, folks! For the first time since 2015, since that Super Bowl 50, we're at the top of the NFL, and everyone wants to throw stones. The win was ugly, say the ESPN analysts. Bo Nix isn't ready, screamed the haters on Twitter. This defense won't hold up, muttered the skeptics. Well, let me tell you something I learned watching football here in Colorado over the last 10 years. An ugly win still counts as a win. And when you're playing on Thursday night, 3 days after facing the most physical defense in the entire league in Houston, with half the team on the injury list without practicing with pads, and you still come away with a divisional win against a rival that's always given you trouble. Man, that's not luck. That's grit. Sean Payton hates Thursday night football. He spent the entire week complaining about it, and rightfully so. Annie Agar, that comedian who makes NFL videos, summed it up perfectly. This was the most Thursday night football game of all time. That's exactly it. Because on Thursday night football, crazy things happen. You guys remember Jacksonville beating the Philadelphia Eagles this year? A team that shouldn't even be close to competing with the Eagles? Well, they won. And when the Eagles had a full week to rest after that, they massacred the same team. You guys remember the San Francisco 49ers without Brock Purdy, without Nick Bosa, without Fred Warner, without Ricky Pearsall, going to Los Angeles as 13-point underdogs and beating the Rams. That's Thursday night football, and the Buffalo Bills almost losing to the Miami Dolphins, who were about to score the tying touchdown before 2 offensive players caused an interception. Thursday night football, baby. The point is, you don't judge a team by their performance on a Thursday with only 2 real days of preparation. You judge that team for being 8-2, leading the AFC West, and having just won 7 straight games, the Broncos' longest winning streak in a decade. But wait, because the story gets better, much better. I still haven't told you about the first bombshell that nobody's seeing about this win. And this bombshell has everything to do with what happened with the Denver Broncos defense last Thursday. If you're a Broncos fan and haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button now, because you won't want to miss what's coming. And tell me in the comments, did you think we were going to lose this game on Thursday? Be honest, bombshell, wow. Let's talk numbers, because numbers don't lie. The Denver Broncos have 46 sacks in the 2025 season. 46! That's the highest number of sacks by any NFL team through the first 10 games since 1990. Let me repeat that. Since 1990. I was 5 years old the last time we saw a defense this dominant this early in the season. And this is without Pat Certain, too, the best cornerback in the league, who won Defensive Player of the Year last season and is out with a pectoral injury. Without him. Imagine when he comes back in 10 days, recovered, ready to face the Kansas City Chiefs next week at Mile High. This guy is every quarterback's nightmare. Nick Bonito took a shot to the neck against the Raiders and came back into the game. This kid's a warrior. Talanoa Hufanga had a 4th down sack in the first half that set up the only touchdown drive of the night. Zach Allen had a sack, 3 QB hits, and a pass deflection. J.L. Skinner blocked a punt that completely turned the game around. Jonathan Cooper and Malcolm Roach made Geno Smith's life hell, and Vance Joseph, our defensive coordinator, deserves all the credit. Remember when in 2023, his first year as the Broncos DC, the Miami Dolphins scored 70 points on us in Week 3? It was horrible, but he learned. He adjusted. And now we have the best defense in football. According to league insiders, Vance Joseph's scheme is being studied by other teams as a model for how to blitz efficiently. He has the 4th highest blitz rate in the NFL, which forces opposing offensive lines not to double-team Bonito and keeps them stuck in one-on-one matchups. It's genius, and there's more. The Broncos didn't allow a first down on 7 consecutive Raiders drives. 7. A 4th down turnover on downs, an interception by Dondria Tillman, and that blocked punt. The Raiders' final possession ended with a missed field goal that would have tied the game. This defense limited the Raiders to just 10 first downs the entire game, with only 3 in the second half. Brock Bowers, who had 3 touchdowns last week against Jacksonville, was completely neutralized with just 1 reception. 1. This guy is one of the most dangerous tight ends in the league, and we locked him down. Now, tell me, does this look like a team that won't go far in the playoffs? Because to me, it looks like a team that's going far and can give anyone trouble. Bombshell. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Ben, Bo played poorly on Thursday. And you're right, he played poorly. 2 interceptions, 54.2 passer rating, completing less than 50% of his passes. It was hard to watch, but let's be fair here. One of the interceptions wasn't his fault. The ball bounced off Troy Franklin's hands straight into the free hands of a Raiders defender. And the other? It was a forced throw, yes. But in a game where the wind was so strong that punter Riley Dixon himself couldn't hold a clean snap. The wind carried punts all over the place. There was a moment when the wind literally carried the ball into the Raiders' long snapper's hands on a botched punt snap. And even so, even horrible night, Bo Nix found Troy Franklin for a 6-yard touchdown that tied the game. He led the winning drive in the 4th quarter. He did enough to win, and here's the point. This is the best rookie quarterback Denver has had in a decade. Better than all those horrible quarterbacks we've seen parade through here since Peyton Manning retired. Drew Lock, Trevor Siemian, Paxton Lynch, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, elderly version, Teddy Bridgewater, Russell Wilson, the worst contract in history. Bo Nix is already better than all of them. Sir Bettinger, a respected analyst here in Colorado, said something that stuck with me. We're at the top of the AFC. We're at the top of the NFL right now, and none of us are satisfied with our offense's performance. That's incredible. It means there's still room to grow. Sean Payton showed us last year that this offense had what it takes down the stretch. He'll find his way. And when he does, when Bo Nix starts playing the football we saw against the Dallas Cowboys when we scored 44 points, this team will be unstoppable. Remember the game against the New York Giants? We were down 26-8 with 6 minutes and 38 seconds left in the game. Our win probability dropped to 0.7%, and we came back. We scored 33 points in the 4th quarter, the 2nd highest number of points in a quarter in NFL history. Bo Nix rushed for 2 touchdowns and passed for 2 more in the same quarter. First player in history to do that. So yes, he had a bad night on Thursday. But this kid has heart. He has grit. He has the IT factor. And he's going to take us where we need to go. Bombshell 3, and now we get to the bombshell I promised at the beginning. The bombshell that could change everything. The Denver Broncos now have 10 days of rest before the next game. 10 days. 10 days certain, too, to fully recover from his pectoral injury. 10 days for Marvin Mims Jr. to recover from his concussion. 10 days for Quinn Meinerz, our all-pro guard who left the Texans game sick, to fully recover. 10 days for everyone who was on the injury list to come back 100%. And guess who's coming to Mile High next week? The Kansas City Chiefs. That's right. The dynasty. The team that's dominated us in recent years. The team that's won the last 3 Super Bowls, or 4 depending on how you count. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, all of them coming to our house, and we have the chance to deliver the final blow to their dynasty. A win against the Chiefs next week practically guarantees the AFC West title for the Denver Broncos. Guarantees it, Now, imagine with me, if I could get in a time machine in August and tell you, hey, the Broncos are going to be 8-2 with the Chiefs coming to Mile High for a game that could decide the division, you would have completely freaked out. You would have sold all the plasma in the world, donated a kidney, done anything to make sure that would happen. And it's happening now. At the start of the season, we thought 11 wins was an optimistic goal for the Broncos. We're already at 8. And we still have games against the Washington Commanders, who lost Jaden Daniels, the Los Angeles Chargers, who have a completely broken offensive line, and 2 more games against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Broncos are in great position to go far in the playoffs. This is a season where the title could go to anyone. And who would you trust more than Sean Payton? He completely turned the situation around and made us believe. But there's one thing I still haven't told you about this Chiefs game that's driving me crazy with excitement, and it has to do with the retro orange uniforms we wore on Thursday. But before I tell you if you agree that the Broncos are going to beat the Chiefs next week, leave a comment down below saying Broncos Country. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now because we're just warming up. Did you guys notice? The Denver Broncos are 4-0 when wearing the retro orange and navy blue uniforms. 4 wins, 0 losses. These uniforms are magical. So here's my official proposal. Make these our permanent official uniforms, because clearly they bring luck. Or maybe it's just because we look awesome in them and intimidate opponents. I don't know. But it works. I love the chemistry and confidence this team has in each other. You see Bo Nix jumping on Troy Franklin's back after the touchdown. You see Nick Bonito coming back into the game, even though he's hurt. You see J.K. Dobbins, who came from Baltimore, running hard to eat the clock at the end of the game. This team believes. And when a team believes, special things happen. Sean Payton broke another negative streak last Thursday. We hadn't won a primetime game against a division rival since the Vance Joseph head coaching era. That was like 6 coaches ago. And he broke that streak, just like he broke the streak of consecutive seasons without wins in Buffalo. Just like he broke the streak of consecutive losing seasons. Just like he broke the streak of missing the playoffs. Sean Payton is a magician, and we're lucky to have him as our coach. Speaking of which, let's talk about our 2 losses. The first was against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where a horrible and controversial call by the refs cost us the game. I was there in the stadium when the scoreboard showed the Broncos winning. Everyone celebrated, and then the refs reversed the call in a way that nobody in the national media had seen before. We've never seen that call used that way, the analyst said. The second loss was to the Kansas City Chiefs on a game-winning field goal at the last second. A game that could have gone either way. Those were our only 2 losses, and we could face both teams again in the playoffs. And I like our chances because this team has already shown it can do everything. We've shown we can massacre teams like the Dallas Cowboys and score 44 points. We've shown we can score 33 points in a single quarter. We've shown we can limit opponents to a single touchdown. And we've shown 4 times this season that this defense can keep teams from scoring a single touchdown. That's jaw-dropping. Sean Payton loves statistics. He uses them as motivation. And he dropped this golden nugget on the team this week. According to his research, home teams that lead at halftime in Thursday night games win approximately 90% of the time. 90%. And guess who was tied at halftime and then took the lead? The Denver Broncos. And guess who won? The Denver Broncos. Coincidence? I don't think so. Mercedes Lewis, our veteran tight end, made history last Thursday. At 41 years old, he became the oldest tight end in NFL history to play a game. And when he took the field on the 4th snap of the Broncos' first drive, he also became the oldest player in franchise history to appear in a game. This guy is a legend, and he chose to finish his career here with us because he believes in this team. Let me tell you something I've noticed watching this team all season. We have the best defense in football, a rookie quarterback who's only going to get better, a coach who knows how to win Super Bowls, an offensive line that's only allowed 8 sacks in 10 games, a solid running game with J.K. Dobbins leading receivers like Cortland Sutton, Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims Jr., and rookie Pat Bryant making plays, a defense that's on pace to break the NFL record for sacks in a season, And most importantly, we have belief. We have Broncos Country behind us. We have Mile High, where we have a 10-game home winning streak, the longest in the NFL right now. This team has absolutely everything it needs to keep pushing toward the playoffs and make a deep run. This is our team. We love them in good times and bad. And you know what's funniest? All this criticism of Bo Nix because of the 2 interceptions against the Raiders is because he didn't get the kind of help we think he needs. That's why I was frustrated that the Broncos didn't make any moves at the NFL trade deadline. But you know what? We don't need to, because this team has already proven it can win anyway. Ugly win? It's a win. Pretty win? It's a win. Dramatic last-second win? It's a win, and that's what we all need to believe in. The ball doesn't lie. The numbers don't lie. And when you look at the numbers, you see an 8-2 team leading the AFC, leading the entire NFL right now, and about to face the biggest game of the season so far. So let me sum up the 3 bombshells that nobody's talking about regarding this ugly win by the Denver Broncos. Bombshell 1, the Broncos' defense is making history with 46 sacks through the first 10 games, the most since 1990, and this is without Patty. Certain 2, bombshell, 2, Bo Nix is the best quarterback we've had in a decade, and he's only going to get better. This kid has heart and will take us far. Bombshell 3, the next 10 days will define the AFC West, and the Broncos have everything to beat the Chiefs at home and practically clinch the division title. This isn't a lucky team. This is a team of grit, talent, and belief. And if you're not believing now, when will you believe? The Denver Broncos are going deep in the playoffs, and I believe that now more than I believed it last week, more than I believed it at the start of the season, because I've seen this team win in every way possible. I've seen them come back from impossible games. I've seen them defend when they needed to. I've seen them make history, and next week when the Chiefs come to Mile High, you're going to see Broncos Country explode. You're going to see Empower Field at Mile High shake. You're going to see Bo Nix play the best game of his career. And you're going to see the Denver Broncos prove they're not just an 8-2 team. They're Super Bowl contenders. So, if you believe in the Broncos, if you're part of Broncos Country, if you want to see this team get to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2015, I need you to do 3 things right now. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that red button and turn on notifications, because I'm going to bring complete analysis of the Chiefs game next week. Leave a like. It helps me a lot with the algorithm and shows you believe as much as I do. Comment. Tell me, what's going to be the score of the Broncos versus Chiefs game? I'm going with 27-20 Broncos. What about you? And if you know any Broncos fan who's discouraged or doubting this team, share this video with them, because we need everyone believing, everyone together. Everyone making noise at Mile High, because this is our year, folks. This is the year we return to where we belong, at the top of the NFL, at the top of the AFC, and who knows, back to the Super Bowl. Broncos Country, let's ride.